Hey, Wagwan, Blazy right here with another episode. I hope you guys are well. As you can see, I'm outside. It's quite pretty out here. America and the West, happy springtime. You know, we've been in the house for a long time. We've been dealing with this crazy snow, which has given us great depression. You know what I mean? And now we're able to walk outside and enjoy the weather and listen to the birds singing and dress how we want. We don't need to dress in big clothes to keep warm. Now I can just have a t-shirt or a short. It's quite magical, you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm here to talk about something that many people from the diaspora kind of try to understand. Is America really offering a good life? I'll answer you in two ways. First of all, I don't know what it means, what good life means to you, because good life might mean material possession, or good life might also mean simple life and peace of mind and freedom of doing whatever you want. So if I start with the first one, which is material gains, I think America really boasts itself as a country that only kind of build that idea of you need a big house, a big car, a golden watch, chains, golden chains, all kind of fancy stuff you can think about. You know what I mean? Money in the bank. Like, you have to be in this idea of competition with your neighbors or people around you. Unfortunately, that's the idea of the American good life. So when people talk about the American dream, I think most of the time that's what they mean. I'm very, very privileged that I've had a chance to travel around the world in few countries, and I've seen how people live simple life. I grew up in a very I won't consider my country poor. I'll consider it simple, because poverty actually is not of material possession. For me, poverty is mindset. You can be poor just through your mind, but not if you have a big car. That's nonsense. Whoever came up with the idea that if you don't have money in the bank you're poor, that's a very stupid man or woman, whoever, or group of people. So I grew up in a very simple place where we didn't need to have 20 pairs of shoes or golden watch to be happy, or we didn't have to have like a flat screen television or stuff. It was very simple. If you had television, the whole neighborhood had to share that television together with other people. And it was very magical, because even while we were watching this television as a community, connections were being created in these spaces. And money was there, yes, but money was not the only thing we depended on. We always depended on food from the farm. And if I never had food, or if my family never had food, I had the power or the strength or the ability to go to my neighbor's house and knock and tell them, we don't have food, and please can you give us something to eat? And they will gracefully give us something if they had it. Think about that aspect. According to me, that's wealth. You know what I mean? Now let's jump back to the first thing I talked about, which is like the wealth in the Western world. The Western world is more of material stuff. Get so much stuff, get as much as you can. Make sure that your neighbor doesn't get even closer to what you have. Money, 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 money. All kind of crazy stuff. And it's all about fantasy, you know. Everything has been fantasized in the United States. I will never lie to you. I came here when I was like 21. Actually, I celebrated my 21st birthday in the United States. And I had the same mindset. Because I know when you're watching this video, you might ask me, why are you talking about material wealth in the US and you still live there? Obviously my life has moved on, but at least I'm aware of what this place is. I've learned how to find some freedom or some good life in this chaotic scene. I'll also talk about the benefits of living in the United States, but I'm telling you, if you're not in the US or if you're living here and you're confused, I don't think America offers you a good life. America offers you a space where you can dream of having material stuff and be like a hoarder, like just grab and put in the store and just feel like you want to take over the whole planet. But if you look at other places in the planet, if you have one pair of shoes or 3 pairs of pants, Actually, that's enough. But here, actually, it's so funny because when I come to the US, my pants got ripped, and it's quite expensive to fix it at the tailor than to buy it. So if my pants get ripped, I go to the shop and buy a new one. But when I was in Kenya, actually Kenyan born and raised, I will go to a tailor outside our place and he will fix it for like few cents. So I was able to reuse that cloth over and over and over. And that's the idea of recycling, you know. And unfortunately, this disease has affected the third world countries, as they call them, which I don't understand what third world country means. For me, I just feel like other countries from Africa and Asia. But another thing that I have to be fair with America, if you want to learn the idea of exposure of different cultures and cosmopolitan races, this is where you need to be. Here there's everybody. Listen, there's Hispanics, there's black people, there's white people, as you know, there's everybody, and that's magic. Also, there's like kind of all sorts of religion. If you go to overseas, you might just find that there's one dominant religion that controls a country, and people have to live according to the laws of that religion. Yet in the United States, people have the freedom of being whatever they want. Or you talk about sexual orientation. Here you can exercise your sexual orientation or sexual rights without someone giving you a hard time. But I know in many countries in the global south or Africa or other places also in Europe, if you like, let's say if you're part of the LGBT, you might have a hard time. So there's some rights that you enjoy in the US, but in terms of money and having so much wealth and physical wealth will never make you happy. I can't lie to you, I've had lots of money in my life, and I won't lie to you that I've been happy while having money. Actually, I feel like the more I have more money, the more I have more tests. I won't say problem, I'll say I'll get tested, because I feel like I'm above the horizon and I can get whatever I want. I've had people talking about that I'm so rich until I can get away with murder. You know, that's the mentality that this country offers you. But in reality, if you think of it, we are spiritual beings, and spiritual beings, we need to think of like, if I get so much, then I need to share. At the same time, I understand it's good to have material possessions, and you know, but you just have to put it in a positive use. Like invest in your community or save or do something that is more productive. Like for me, I will never open a bar or I'll never open a dance club because I know I will have to sell alcohol, and alcohol messes up the community. But I will invest this money in farming, or I'll invest this money in Africa, or I'll invest this money in Asia, somewhere that really needs it. So if you're out there and you're thinking of moving to the United States to have a good life, my friend, I'm warning you, it's not like that. You might have a clean shirt, nice shoes, beautiful car, but your mind might be messed up. The birds are singing, it's so pretty. I just got distracted by that. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so if you're looking for a good life, maybe you can make that good life where you are. Start with your community. See what can you do to them. Can you be a good farmer? Can you be a good plumber? Don't let the social media craziness take over your system, because these days social media also is just making us feel like you need to wear Gucci, Versace, all kind of crazy stuff, and people will judge you according to the car you drive. Now, there's so much to life than what is being offered to us through the eyes or the mouths of the media. But if you get a chance to come to the States to explore and enjoy other avenues of this country, I think you'll have a very good time. I can tell you personally, I'm having a good life because I've realized the benefits and the disadvantages of the American dream. Okay? But dear friend, I don't need to talk too much about this. And they also say that for people who don't want to listen, my job is just to give advice. And you don't need to take it. Come over and see. Because I've seen many people suffering from so much depression as soon as they move to this country, because you find people having like 3 jobs, they don't have time for themselves, they just sleep and work, and then one day they just fall down and collapse. or they just have very bad diet, or they have like failed relationships, all kind of crazy stuff. But also you can move to the US and live here and just live a simple life and stop competing with other worldly desires that people are doing all over our neighborhoods. I don't want to talk too much about all this topic, but just think about it, make a decision for yourself, and see the outcome. But for now, I'll say peace until next time. Adios.